Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Cece. I have a special setup today here because it's so cloudy. I have been wanting to do this unboxing video for a very long time. How long has it been? It's been a year. It's been a year since I bought this little cutie here, and I have not used this even once because I wanted to do a proper unboxing. So I actually bought this back in November last year. So from the time that I bought it until now, with the time that I am filming this, yeah, it's been a year. It's been a year. I have not used it. I did unbox it myself in private when I first got home, and then I put it on my shelf, in my closet, in my walk-in closet. But I have not used it, and I was just so paranoid using it, so I actually put it back to the box. So it's somewhat true unboxing since it's still new, but I just have not really enjoying this beauty, which I should not have, because handbags should be used and enjoyed and not just sitting pretty on the shelf. So finally I decided to do it. But then for the past 2 weeks, unfortunately, whenever I try to film this video, it's always a cloudy day. The only time I could do is on my day off because I have more control of my time, and I also have to do my hair, my makeup, and all that. And on my day that I'm looking, I just do not want to deal with all of this. So anyway, without further ado, I mentioned that I bought this in last November. So that was November 2021, and it was in LA. It was the trip that my family visited LA for the very first time, and I bought this at the Robinson boutique, I believe. I was actually initially looking for a vanity case with chain. I had talked about it in one of my previous videos. I can link it above. It was about my 5 favorite Chanel bags, and the vanity case was one of them. In that trip, I was looking for a vanity case, and the Robinson store was the first store that I tried to look for one, but I ended up getting this little beauty right here, which was a total unexpected surprise. I was so thrilled when I was being offered this bag. So without further ado, with just me yakking, let's do the unboxing as I'm talking about the experience and tell you a bit more of the story, the bag story. So yeah, so I went into the store trying to look for a vanity case of chain because I missed out in, I should say, summer 2020, and then I really wanted one. So when I was on vacation, I finally remembered that I wanted one. I went to the store and she said they didn't have any. Just by chance, they didn't have any. So this is the regular stuff, how to take care of your bag. This is the booklet for taking care of your handbag. And this is a cloth that you're supposed to use to dust off any dirt at the end of every use, which I don't use at all most of the time with my bags. And then this is actually supposed to be the dust bag for my handbag, but she was nice enough to give me another one, which they usually use for a classic bag. So that's a big hint. Are you ready? Yep. Well, you kind of see it. You kind of have a little peek. I'm so happy when I see it. Oh my god. You see the stickers are still on. The stickers on the hardware. And then it's brand stinking new. I have not even used it for once, like I said. I just left it on the shelf for a little while, and then I put it back to the box and put it in my storage closet, which I really should have not done. So let me put this away and then we can appreciate this beauty a little bit. So here we go. We have the new to me Chanel mini flap rectangular in lambskin leather, light gold hardware, which I totally love. It goes so well with most of their colors. 2021, I forget what season it was. Let me check. For those of you who are interested in finding out about the bag. Oh, yeah, I do have it here. Okay, so it was the 22C actually. So it was released in the end of 2021, but it's actually a 2022C, which is cool collection. So you can see from the tag, it is a mini flap in beige. I love this beige. It's just so cute. Oh my. So there it is. Just as you see, I still have the retail tag still attached to the bag. We had not used it, and I just love the color. I adore it so much. It's just so pretty. I'm just so afraid that if I left any marks on it, if I have any stains, I just couldn't bear myself to reimagine that. But this 22C collection, the light beige, it's just so creamy. It is creamy, it's dreamy, it's very girly, and it's very feminine at the same time. I really think it would just go well with my skin tone, and then it's probably gonna be one of the most go-to colors for me if I am not afraid to use it, because like I said, the light beige, it's just so adorable. It's a very versatile color and go with a lot of outfits, a lot of colors. So I have this as my last mini flap for now. I have 3 other ones which I'm gonna show you, so give me 1 second. Okay, so now I'm back with my mini flap collection, and I promise in one of my last videos, which I will link above, that I will do a proper mini collection right here. The Chanel Classic Flap is the one that introduced me to this whole like designer world that I had never entered before, and I really love the classic flaps. It's just so classic, it's iconic, it goes well with anything, and they are very versatile because of the chain. You can do so much with the chain because just how flexible it is and how you can shorten it and utilize the whole length for different types of bags, which I will also show you how to really make the minis into different types of handbags. Yes. So I have the newest edition, which I just show you. This is the Chanel beige rectangular flap, and I have the light pink mini flap here, which I use so much and it got really dirty. And then I have this navy top handle mini with chain. I had also talked this in the video that I mentioned before, my 5 favorite Chanel bags video. And then my mini flap here. This is the only mini square that I have. I actually had my eyes on another mini square online, so I'm not sure if I will, but I really love the color. So anyway, so I have all 4 bags here, different colors, but they're all lambskin. It's just a thing that is just so annoying. Chanel does not make a lot of mini flaps in the caviar leather. I think it might be something to do with how caviar is more sturdy. Normally you see somehow like an equal amount of caviar and lambskin in all other sizes, in like the small, medium, and jumbo classic flaps, but then somehow in the mini size you just don't see a caviar leather one that much, and I really wonder it's because of, you know, just harder to make since a small size and the leather is more stiff, and maybe it's just more like difficult to make. I don't know. And whenever you do see one, it's just so expensive, which I don't find it justified, because supposedly both lambskin and caviar leather should be the same price for the same bag. So anyway, that's all off the topic. I have all in lambskin. I am a little afraid of using lambskin because I'm not a very careful person, but so far they're holding up okay. except this one right here, the light pink. Well, first the color is so light, and I bought it pre-loved, so it was like used and like a little dirty to begin with. So in the future, if I do another video, I can talk more about the history of this bag, because this is the one that I had the longest. I bought this in 2014. As I had mentioned before, I bought this pre-loved, so it was a little used up, but nevertheless it was a very, very good price. That's why I didn't mind the condition, since it's a trade-off for the price that I was paying. So I had this in my collection for 8 years, and then the hardware is actually very used now. Under the strong light, I can definitely see a lot more like flaws than I normally would see with regular lights. Anyway, so the hardware is very special. It is light pink, matching rose gold hardware, and you don't see rose gold being used a lot in the Chanel bags, especially like years ago. In the past 2 years, they have used rose gold, especially I think they have used that a lot with the trendy style, the trendy bag. And I actually do adore the look, because the rose gold is just more subtle than yellow gold. Although the yellow gold that they recently do in last year or last 2 years, it's a light gold, like a light beige gold or beige gold. I don't know what they preferably call it, but it's also very subtle. So I think Chanel has probably trying to update like the look of the hardware, and they put a lot of thoughts into it, which I find okay, since the yellow gold that they use to have, it's not exactly the same as the vintage ones, which I believe is 24K gold plated. So anyways, I had this for 8 years, for about 8 years, almost 8 years. And then the inside is pretty plain. So the inside here, you have one major compartment and one slip pocket, and then another compartment with a zipper. So it is very functional, and you also have a back pocket, which I do use. I know most people don't use a back pocket, but I use it so much because I like to store my credit card and my metro card in there. It's just so convenient. I don't really have to open my bags and, you know, ramble through my wallet and get my wallet out and all that. Just extra steps for me. So I love this bag. I have used it a lot, and because I've used it so much, even though it is old and dirty, but from the natural oil in my hands, like the texture of this lambskin, it just so like, I don't know how to describe this texture, or like the touch. It's just so like rich and luxurious. It's different than like the newest lambskin I have, which is less shiny and less smooth. So I'm not sure if it's something to do with the year of the leather, but I just think maybe I should start using this one more, so I can have that nice touch and a nice smooth finish on the surface of the leather. It's just so nice. I can do this all day. It's kind of therapeutic. I'm sorry. So this was the first one, and then that's the only mini bag. This is the only mini flat for a very, very long time, until 2021. 2021 was a weird year for me because I was into Chanel for a very long time, and then I stopped buying for a couple years in between. That was the period of time that, you know, I got married, we moved into a new house, so we are officially financially independent, meaning that we have a lot of bills on our own since then. I shouldn't say I stopped buying. I did not buy as much as I used to in the beginning, after I started making money on my own. And then 2021, oh my god, because of all the crazy price increase happening at Chanel, and all some like the spotlights on them, good or bad, like seriously, like good or bad. And so that actually did draw my attention back to Chanel again. And of course, I couldn't just easily buy a classic flap, let's say in the size of small or medium, because it's easily over $8,000. And like a lot of people said, and I do agree, I do not want to spend over $8,000 and almost $9,000 after tax. If I'm gonna spend that amount of money, why would I just not save a little bit more to get a Hermes bag, which would be in terms of like a Kelly or Birkin, right? So I really did not find it justified to spend so much on the Chanel bag, because you gotta understand where I came from. Like, I started my Chanel journey like 10 years ago, back in 2012, and back then it was half the price of what it is nowadays. So even with inflation being factored in, I just don't find it reasonable enough for me to spend so much money on the Chanel Classic flap. And everyone agrees with me. No one really thinks it's a good idea to buy at retail price anymore. So that's why when I had my eyes back on Chanel again in 2021, if I was about to get more Chanel Classic flaps, it probably would only be in the mini size, which is still in the $4,000 range. It's smaller, but at the same time it's enough to hold all my essentials. Seriously, all my essentials, which is what I mostly would carry with me whenever I go outside. Except like going to work, that's a different story. Yeah, so back in 2021, I was back into Chanel again. Like I said, I went to LA for the family trip. I saw this mini flap and it just opened the doors again for more mini flaps. So I bought this in November 2021, and I would say within a period of 4 months from the end of 2021 to the beginning of 2022, I bought 3 more mini flaps. First the beige in LA, and then the black mini square, and then the navy mini top handle. But as you all see here, they are totally different. Even though they're all mini flaps, but they're very different in terms of the color and also the style. So I have no guilt in getting them. I mean, you cannot blame me. They're just so cute, and I do use them. So I bought the black mini square in eBay in January 2022, and I bought this from a reseller based in Hong Kong, and it is Coco approved. If you guys want to check out, you can go take a look. So yes, so that's like a little backstory of the history of my mini flaps and the timing and like why I want to get them. So now I want to show you guys different ways of using your mini flap, as I did keep repeating myself that it is a very good piece to invest in Chanel because it's just very versatile with the strap. So of course, as everyone knows, the mini flap is known for its long crossbody length. I am 5'2", so this is actually pretty long on me. I can stand up and easily you can see that's how far it would hit on my hip. That's one way of wearing it, as a crossbody. And if you want to use it as a shoulder bag, I have a very easy way of doing it. Some of you might have seen it on Instagram or whatnot. So you just pull the strap, make it go under your flap, your inner flap, and then you take the two together, and there you have it. That's your very easy converted shoulder strap right here, and it is the right length as a shoulder bag, which I totally love. This is actually the way that I use my mini flaps mostly nowadays, because I just find it just like so cute and easy to use. So now if you want to use it as a shoulder bag, like a long shoulder bag, you can adjust the very long strap with a knot on the top, which is not my preferred way of doing it, because when you tie a knot like this on top, people can see it. So I don't prefer doing this way myself. Now it's a longer shoulder bag. I think it's okay. I just don't prefer the knot to be seen. I do have other recommendations of adjusting it. Most people would use a ribbon, which you can use the Chanel ribbon that it comes with when you buy a bag. Just tie up your strap and tuck the extra chain inside your bag like that. So that's one way of doing it. Another way to me is pretty clean as well. I had tucked away this in my back pocket. So it is a, I don't know what you call it, but it's like a clip that you can use for adjusting your shoulder straps. So what it does, you basically take this and you hook up the chains, and then you make it into a shorter shoulder strap. So you tuck it in like that, and there you have it. You have a shorter shoulder strap. See, now it's like a more desirable length on me. Like once again, I'm 5'2", so, and this is a very clean look. You don't have to use ribbon, which can take up actually more space inside your bag. You can also use this to make your bags into a top handle bag. I'm actually gonna do it with my mini square, because I think the top handle mini square is the best look. So I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna adjust your strap, your chain strap, into a desirable length. Okay, so there you have it. This is the strap and the converter right here. I can definitely link it up below in my description box. I bought mine from eBay, so you can take a look. It's not expensive at all. And so there you have it. You have a top handle mini flap here. Isn't it just cute? Oh my god, I love it. And I think it goes well with my outfit today, because I have a bit of black. I have the black Chanel belt right here, and then my bag. Isn't it cute? I personally love it, love the look of it. So that's all the ways that you can use your mini flaps. So let me recap. So you can use your mini flap as a top handle with a short handle like that. And you can use it, of course, as a crossbody bag, because that's what it initially designed. And then if you double loop it under your flap, you can make it into a short shoulder bag. And then if you use a ribbon or you use a clip to adjust the strap inside your bag, and then you can make it into a longer shoulder bag, or you can make it into other length that you desire. So these are all the ways that you can do it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this show and tell video. I have wanted to do this a very long time, like the unboxing and also the mini flap collection. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.